Hey guys, so I wanted to give you my review of that time I got reincarnated as a slime season 3 because I just finished watching it and I wanted to let you know what I thought and give you my overall thoughts. If you don't know already, that time I got reincarnated as a slime or just slime, we'll just call it that to simplify things. It's a story about a guy who gets killed in the real world and then once he gets killed, he gets reincarnated as a slime in this new world, and this new world is this fantasy world. It's an isekai, world, and he's filled with monsters and magic and all different types of adventures and all new kingdoms and all that fun, good gravy jazz. And the slime monster Rimuru, he is able to absorb things and learn their powers, learn their abilities, learn their stats, and he continually grows in that way. And over time, he just keeps getting stronger and stronger until he builds up this town, this city, this nation, and it's pretty good. And in fact, I rewatched season 1 and 2, the both parts of season 2, in order to get ready for season 3 because I wanted to get caught up and just kind of jog my memory, if you will, before I watched the season because I really liked it. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I thought they were good. Rewatching them, my original critiques was that it could have done a little bit more when it comes to lore building. But when I rewatched it, I maybe want to take that back a little bit because as I was rewatching it, I thought, man, the lore building isn't actually too bad. I guess for whatever reason, first time around, it felt like things were going a little bit too fast and they were skipping over some parts. I don't know, but I didn't feel that way too much rewatching it. But I watched season 3.
ルミナス様が
魔王ルミナスバレンタインそのクソトカゲが足打って
So, when it comes to season 3, there's some good and some not so good. So to cover the good stuff, I think this is a great season. I was never really just straight out bored, I would say, or anything with it. It was pretty interesting throughout. I enjoyed the story. The first half of the season is a lot better. This season does have 24 episodes. They are fully and completely dubbed, and they're all already out. I'm covering this a little bit late now, but I did have a lot of fun with it. It's got some interesting battles in it. And the first half of the season, there's a lot of buildup. I don't want to spoil anything, but characters kind of clash. There's some stuff that goes on. There's some decent action scenes and stuff. And there's some of that in the second half of it as well. And so overall, I just want to say I did enjoy it. There was never a time where I was watching this and I just thought, okay, I think I'm kind of done with this or stuff where it was just stale and tuning out. But I will say, I don't want to seem too negative or anything, but on the flip side of that, even though I never got fully bored or that I felt like tuning out, I want to say that there were a few times where I came a little close to it. The second half of the season is weaker than the first part, and there's some stuff going on with his nation. There's this festival. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but I just kind of feel like as I was watching this season, there were a lot of moments where I thought to myself, "Man, that could have been done better. That could have been done better." There were just things that weren't bad per se. There was nothing in it that I thought, wow, that sucked. But then when I was watching it, I thought, oh man, they could have done so much more with this. So to give you an example, it'll just be an itty bitty minor spoiler. In the second half of this season, there's this tournament that goes on. And in this tournament, basically, it takes a long time to build up to it. There's world building around it. There's, a lot of moving parts with a lot of different people going on. And so they finally get to this tournament. And the tournament's over in like an episode or two. And the fights were just so lackluster. And it has involved some people that we know and some people that we don't. But it really just seemed like it was kind of thrown on the back burner, And I just, after watching it, I just remember thinking to myself, like, that was it? Like, that's all you're going to do with that? And the thing is in the second half of this first season, there's not really a lot of action going on, and that's fine as long as you replace that with really good character development or world building or something, good storytelling. So it doesn't have to be a lot of action, but there's not a lot of action at all. And excuse me. And as I was watching it, there's not a lot of character development either. I mean, there's a little bit, and there's a little bit of world building and stuff like that. But essentially, it feels like there's so many moving parts going around that you had to just kind of constantly touch on everyone. And it all just felt a little surface level. Like, here's what this group is doing. Here's what this group is doing. Here's what this group is thinking. And it just kept bouncing around like that. And in the background, things are just slowly progressing. And so I wasn't bored, but I just felt like it could have been done so much better. I felt like, don't know. There didn't seem a lot of real conflict going on. There wasn't any super stakes, even when it came to the tournament or when they, open this kind of dungeon later on and stuff like that. There's no real stakes. Like, there's no death involved. There's not even an option to die. And so guess you could say that what I want to say is, as this season progressed, it got more and more kind of PG-13, I guess you could say. It just felt like, man, when are we gonna get something a little bit more weighty going on? You felt that a lot in season 2, whenever Rimuru was faced off against that chick who was the I forget her name, but she's like working for the Holy Knights or whatever, and she was the apprentice of the other chick that Rimuru ended up eating. I'm so bad with names; I don't know their names. Forgive me, but it was like, man, your nation is at risk. There are people who are actually, their life is on the line. Some people died. There's like stuff going on that makes it feel more weighty. Whereas, I don't know. And then it led up, and there was the Demon Lord stuff, and there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of interesting stuff to kind of push the plot. And this season, it feels like there is a conflict. There's definitely a conflict, and it kind of rises and rises, and then it hits this peak. But I feel like the peak that it hits between Rimuru and this other chick, it's fine, but it's a little rough around the edges, but it was okay. And then from there, it just kind of goes downhill, and it's just kind of soft, and there's just a lot of talking, but the talking doesn't have, it's nation and world building, but it's not super substantive. It didn't feel that way to me. I guess maybe you could argue it is and all that stuff, but I really feel like, I don't know, we could have done with maybe a proper villain, like a proper threat to the nation in the second half of this season, in the second half of it. I really felt like maybe, I don't know, if a new threat shows up, and it doesn't have to be a big deal, and it doesn't even have to be with Rimuru, but, it could be like an isolated incident. So, I don't know, like, I did enjoy the season, and I feel like it's close up there to season 1 and season 2, but I don't think it's as good as season 1 or season 2. I think it's on par with them, and I think it's right up there near them, but so it didn't take like a nosedive, but I feel like this season, honestly, is probably the weakest season out of the 3 of them that we got, and I believe each one does have 24 episodes. Overall, though, I did really enjoy it. I liked it. I would recommend it, and it definitely looks like the story is continuing on, of course. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know how it goes, but I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to seeing where this story goes and how things unfold, and yeah, those are kind of my overall thoughts. So let me know what you think. Have you seen it yet? I mean, do you agree with me? Did you think it was the best thing in the world and one of the best animes, or were you kind of more on my page where you thought, yeah, it was good, but it could have been a bit better in certain areas and different spots? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when my new videos drop. I talk about movies, TV shows, gaming, anime, and all kinds of pop culture stuff, and I try to upload 3, 4, or even 5 times a week. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and have a great freaking day.